You see, a lot of times, man, when you're out there running the streets, you really don't realize, man, how much you're hurting your family, how much you're hurting your loved ones, what you're putting them through. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just so focused on this street life that you think that whatever it is that you're doing is only affecting you, and you don't realize the extent and the amount of pain that you're putting your family through. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we see nowadays, man, is we see all these youngsters, man, just killing each other. With anybody and everybody killing each other. It ain't just youngsters, right? But for the most part, man, it's the younger generation that's influenced, man, by this music and everything else they see on TV, and they seeing by their homeboys and their homegirls. Is they going out there, man, and they catching all these bodies, and they going out and they doing time, or they dying. You know what I mean? But little do you know, man, or do you realize is that if and when you got to make it to prison, you're not going to be the only one that's doing time. If you got loved ones that are going to write you and stay down with you, they're going to be doing that time with you. You know what I'm saying? And if you die, man, some people die with you, man. Like they die inside. Like if you got somebody who loves you, man, especially like a mother or a father or, you know, a sister or a brother, man, a piece of them dies with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we don't understand that. Perfect example, man. I was leaving the house one time, man. My cousin comes to the crib. He gets me. He's like, hey, man, I need you to ride with me, homie. This and that. So-and-so's in danger. We need to go ride this and that. And me being the person that I've always been, if I love you and I rock with you, and if your life is in danger or the life of somebody we know and we care about, well, then we finna go ride and we finna rock out. You know what I mean? It wasn't no questions asked. You know what I'm saying? Before I went to prison, I wasn't thinking about the consequences and the future. And even if I did, I was still making the wrong decisions. You know what I mean? So boom, we leave the crib. I got a military flak vest. This military flak vest, it's camo, and it's similar to a bulletproof vest. It tells you, like, it got the instructions on the back, and it tells you like the caliber of gun it can withstand. It tells you how it can withstand grenade fragments, all that. So we're leaving the crib, and I got a pump shotgun, a pistol grip pump shotgun. So we're leaving the crib, and man, my sister and my little brother are on the side of the house. It's like 10 o'clock at night. They're on the side of the house with somebody. I don't know who they're with. And my sister's like, nigga, where you going? I'm like, man, this nigga needs help, man. I'm finna go ride with him, this and that. I'll be back in a little bit. She was like, nigga, why you always jumping up for people, man, every single time they call you and they need your help? She goes, every time they need you to go do some, go fight or go do whatever, she goes, you the first one they call. She's like, but as soon as you down and out and you need these niggas ain't nowhere to be found. She was like, man, mom already went to sleep thinking that you're going to stay in the house for the rest of the night. She's like, you better make sure that you make it home, because I'm not going to be able to tell her that I knew you left if something happens to you. My mom used to be my mom used to have a hard time going to sleep if she knew I was out in the streets, because she knew I was always into some shit. So even if she had to go to work the next morning, at 6 or 7 in the morning, if I got home at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, my mom would be on the couch and she would be like, can I go to sleep now? Which means like, can I, are you staying in the goddamn house? And I'll be like, yeah, mom, you can go to sleep. And so, I'd give her a hug and a kiss and I'd go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I got you. I'm going to make it home. So me and my cousin, we leave that night. It's like 10, 11 o'clock that night when we leave. By the time we're headed back, because we had to drive a mission, by the time we left and we came back, well, on the way back to the crib, it was like 5:30 in the morning. And I can't remember which one of us were driving, man, but one of us looked over at the other one and was like, man, nigga, we need to pray. So we ended up praying. For some reason, I don't know why we prayed. Shit, we just got done doing the goddamn devil's work, you know what I mean? And we wanted to pray, but for some reason we did. And so we prayed on the way home, you know what I mean? And so by the time I get to the crib, it's like 6:37 in the morning, man. The sun's already coming up. And I walk inside the house and I walk into, I think, either my little brother or my sister's room. I walk into one of their rooms and they're both in there, man. They're both awake. And neither one of them been asleep all night. They stayed up waiting for me. So they get up and they look at me, and I can tell they're giving me that look of disappointment. You know what I mean? They're giving me that look of disappointment, like they're disappointed in the fact that I left and, that I went to go do whatever it is that I did. But nonetheless, they didn't ask no questions. They just like gave me that look like they're disappointed, but at the same time, they're glad that I made it home safe. So boom. So I give them a hug and a kiss. They tell me they love me. I tell them I love them. I go take a shower and I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time on the way home, man, I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, what if I wasn't driving home right now? What if something happened to me and my cousin, or one of us or both of us, and we weren't making it home? You know what I mean? Like, what was my mom gonna go through? You know what I mean? Losing her son to the streets, all because he went to go help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Or he went to go deal with something that, that what didn't even necessarily involve me, but I got myself involved, all because my cousin asked me to, to get involved in it, and I didn't ask no questions. You know what I mean? What was my sister and my little brother gonna go through if something happened to me that night? And and my mom's going crazy, and they can't find it in their hearts to tell her, hey, look, like we saw him go out last night, but we didn't stop him. Like, man, like they would be dealing with that shit to this day, man. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no child can tell their mom or their dad, like, oh, I knew he was going out and I didn't stop him. Like, nah, nobody can deal with that, man. Like, that would have been a big burden, you know what I'm saying, on my little brother and my little sister. And I say all that to say this, man. Like, I'm not saying any of this from a perfect standpoint. I'm not righteous. I'm not perfect. I still got a lot of flaws that I got to deal with. I've done dumb shit before prison. I did dumb shit when I was in prison, and I've done dumb shit since I've been out of prison. You know what I mean? But I'm speaking from a point of view of somebody who's been there, done that, and I just see life in a different way now, man. And I just try to, just take every single day as an opportunity to be a better person than I was yesterday, despite the fact that I'm still not perfect, and I never will be perfect. I can only just try to become better every single day, you know what I mean? But we gotta be a better influence, man, to our youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has this excuse, man, like, oh, well, people need to make their own decisions when it comes to music. Music is not to blame. Look, man, if music can, put you in a good mood, if a song can put you in a bad mood, you hear women hear a certain song, they want to shake some ass, they want to twerk. Dudes hear a certain song, they want to vibe out, they want to jump up and down, get crunk. You know what I mean? Like, songs change moods, man. Like, ain't no time, man, that anytime that I was going out there to go rob, go steal, go do anything of that nature, I was not listening to no goddamn country music. I wasn't listening to no R&B. I wasn't listening to, I was listening to something that was going to get me in my zone. You know what I'm saying? Something that was talking about robbing, something that was crunk, something that was going to put me in that zone while I'm, riding around doing these drugs and robbing and stealing and doing whatever it is that I'm doing, right? So, man, music has frequencies, man. It has an influence in people's lives, man. And that's all anybody's listening to, man. When they going out there, they spinning and they killing each other and they doing all this and that. Like, man, y'all gotta chill with that, man. We gotta be a better influence to our youngsters, to our generation, to our daughters, to our sons, to all that, man. And not only that, like, we just gotta understand, man, that like, you're not the only one, man, that's gonna be affected by whatever it is that happens to you. If you end up in that hospital, you end up in that prison cell, or you end up in that grave, somebody that loves you is going to be affected by that, man. And how much do you love them? Do you love them enough to say, you know what? I don't want to put them through any unnecessary pain or grief. So I'm going to go out here, man, and I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to get me a job or get me a trade or go to college. Or am I going to try to, follow the Joneses and be influenced by everybody else and go out there and do some dumb shit? Because I used to be the same way. Social media wasn't out before I went to prison. But shit, I wasn't trying to make no slow money. I was trying to make nothing but fast money. I used to be damned if I was going to work 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and bring home less money in a week than what I can make in one lick off of robbing somebody or for selling some dope. You know what I mean? I used to be the same way, so I already know how it goes, man. But stop jumping through hoops, man, and doing things for people that they wouldn't necessarily do for you, man. Because at the end of the day, when you're in that prison cell, you're going to be in that prison cell alone, man. Everybody telling on each other now. And even if ain't nobody telling on you, what's the point of even having to go to prison if you don't have to? When you go to that grave, you go into that grave alone. When you go into that hospital bed, you're going into that hospital bed alone. Ain't nobody going with you, man. So just think about that, man. The next time y'all think y'all want to go out there and y'all want to do something crazy and, take somebody's life or go do some unnecessary shit, you know what I mean? So, like I said, y'all, I don't speak from no self-righteous standpoint, just somebody who's been there, who's done that. And I'm just trying to help everybody, man, potentially not go down that same road that I had to go down.